still giggling because he thinks he got the last word on that last episode. He doesn't realize I control the editing of the final film. But anyway. Oh, we forgot about that shit, didn't we? Hello, Happy Campers. I'm Spike. That's Chris.
I'm Chris.
That's a dejected Chris because he just realized he does not have the mad editing skills I have, so to speak. Either way.
I'm going to learn.
He's going to learn. We're doing another episode of Geeking Out.
Pardon me, I just yawned on the air. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's early for me.
That's all right. That's all I did in that last episode where we were talking about what was coming to sci-fi.
My bad.
Man, you put me to sleep. You almost put me into a coma talking about sci-fi projects, but not SCIFI, but SYFY. Oh man, Young Rock. That was the one that almost put me into a coma. God. What was it the beloved wife said that must not be
Pebbles?
named? Pebbles. It should be the Pebbles show. Anyway,
Pebbles
too bad I
show.
couldn't remember that back when we were doing the episode on that. Anyway, this episode we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. We're shifting gears here. We're talking about over-the-air television. This one's for the cord cutters. Most of our audience is in the central Kentucky area, so Lexington and the surrounding areas. So if you're outside of central Kentucky, you might as well just skip this episode. It's not going to apply to you. But there are more and more cord cutters. I know there are a lot of younger people watching. There is something called over-the-air television. And the closer you are to these transmitters, the better it'll be. I'm not going to sit here and explain how to set up over-the-air television. Okay, there are plenty of places you can go online, find out how to do that if you're cutting the cord. But I do want to talk about some new over-the-air channels that are coming up. Because with the advent of digital television, now instead of having just one channel, you can take that signal, your bandwidth, and you can split it up into different channels. See? So I'm going to be throwing some. Now you can't get over the air. We actually tried to set up over the air with you where you're located. You couldn't get any of them because you had a bunch of trees and houses and power lines and stuff in the way. You couldn't get it with a conventional rabbit ears antenna.
And I live in the middle of town.
He lives in the middle of town. That actually works against you if you've got rabbit ears. Unless you're in Lexington.
I couldn't even get, what was it? I had Dish. And moved from the country to the middle of town. And couldn't get it. Even though the neighbors could. And I was like,
It's the luck of the draw, baby.
Oh,
that Southern view. Anyway.
That's alright, I got better stuff now.
But where Who What Where studios are out here in the middle of nowhere, the house is located on a ridge. So I can actually pick up channels from hither, thither, and yon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of these subchannels and stuff just to explain what they are and get your reactions to them, because I think there's a lot of these you aren't even aware exist.
Not even aware of, but by God, I have a feeling that after you tell me this, I'm going to go home and try my best to get over the air.
Now, each of these channels, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 core channels. Okay, 7 core channels. And I believe there's a total of, if you count the core channels and the subchannels, there's a total of 40 live TV channels you can watch over the air for free. For free. You don't have to pay them a dime. But we're going to start at the low end of the scale and work our way up. Now, understand, these are not the actual frequencies that these channels reside at. They can have what's called a virtual number. This is what they were known by in the old analog broadcast days, but they're allowed to keep the number and identify themselves with it. I have a point on that in a second, but we're going to start with channel 18, WLEX. That's the NBC affiliate. They, at last count, they have 4 channels. Okay, so you got the NBC feed, which is on channel 1, 18.1. Okay, that's NBC's feed. That's where the news and everything else happens. 18.2 is MeTV. This is like the big chief daddy of the subnets because they are the closest thing to a conventional TV land that you can find. This is not the TV land that does their own crappy sitcoms and crap. This is like old school TV land in the Nick and Night days.
The Munsters.
They still carry, well, they just wrapped up a 3-year run of Hogan's Heroes, for God's sake. But the Andy Griffith Show is there, The Facts of Life. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and I can't think of it.
That's one channel I always actually wish I did had, was MeTV.
Oddly enough, that's the one that doesn't turn up on a lot of cable systems, because MeTV doesn't really sign a good, doesn't really have Simon carriage agreements with a bunch of cable companies. So it's weird. It's like just one of them things. But anyway, so MeTV's on 18.2. 18.3 is Bounce. That's kind of like BET over the air. It's not BET. It has nothing to do with BET. It's for an African American audience, basically. It's black shows for black people and people who like them. So that's Bounce on 18.3. And then 18.4 just fired up a couple of months ago. It's Court TV. Court TV is back. Old school Court TV, the kind Harvey Levin first founded back before he did TMZ. But this is the one that does the live coverage of court stuff. It's back. It's live on 18.4.
If it's not Night Court, I don't care.
It's not Night Court. Moving up a channel, we'll go to channel 27 now. WKYT. They've actually been changed. They're dropping the 27. They want to be known as KYT now.
See, that's what gets me so confused on that stuff. But go ahead.
Well, it's just a matter of branding. They don't want to be attached to the old 27 number because, well, they're not on channel 27 anymore. I think they're actually on channel 9, something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, 27 is, for a long time, 27 was the one that played catch-up because they had 2 sub-channels. Okay? They recently added 2 more. Okay? So 27.1 is your CBS feed. That's the one with the news and everything. 27.2 is the CW. They call it the CWKYT. That's the CW affiliate for Lexington. That's where you find The Flash, and that's where the last 2 parts of Crisis on Infinite Earths is going to hit this coming Tuesday, as a matter of fact. Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, it's about time.
Finally wrap that up. 2 episodes in one night. Starts at 8 o'clock Tuesday night. Anyway. So anyway, that's where the CW is. They carry a lot of stuff. If 27 is showing something else, if the CBS feed is showing something else, the CW KYT will actually show sports that CBS, that 27, that WKYT doesn't have room to show. So if like the number 1, number 2 basketball teams are about to square off, KYT has the rights, but hey, they also have the rights to the Wildcats playing right now. The Wildcats will be on 27.1. Number 1 and number 2 are going to square off on the CW. So that's what they're used. They're kind of like a leftover side plate for the WKYT. Like I said, they just added new channels. 27.3 is now called, used to be their radar channel. That was all they showed was weather radar, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Which is idiotic most of the time until there's severe weather. Yeah. And then you're getting a live radar feed constantly. You're watching that sucker. That recently moved to 27.4. 27.3 is now called Circle. Imagine the Nashville Network back when it was the Nashville Network. That's what Circle is. Nashville-centric everything. Not just music. If you like Nashville-based humor, they have a comedy program made up of stand-up comics in Nashville. They also rerun Hee Haw every weeknight at 5. That didn't age well back in the 70s and 80s when they filmed it.
Yeah, but
it is a special treat now.
Yeah, it's always nice to sit there and see Hee Haw.
And I actually saw somebody the other day with a Nashville Network hat. It was one of those baseball caps like you're wearing, but it had the Nashville Network, and it actually had their old guitar logo.
You must work there.
I guess. But anyway, so that's 27.3. 27.4 is where the radar went, so the live radar is still there. 27.5 has not yet started as of this morning, but it will be starting soon. It's called Dabble, D-A-B-L. It's supposed to be a lifestyle network. What lifestyle network means, it's either going to be about home. I told the beloved wife, who must not be named here, I told her it's lifestyle network means one of two things. It's either home improvement or it's a gay channel. It's home improvement. So they're going to be.
I was like, I would pick home improvement.
They're going to be airing a bunch of. They're going to be airing a bunch of A&E, old A&E stuff like Sell This House and some other home improvement things, and then you'll also have some Martha Stewart stuff and Bob Vila stuff, and yeah. So just laugh a minute over on 27.5. So.
Those people that actually watch that stuff, I don't know.
Let's see if I can remember how the rest of these go. Moving up to 36.1 is the ABC affiliate. This is also known as the Morning News Also Ran. This is the local news nobody watches over on 36. Those poor guys on TVQ.
Yeah, and they come on early. Like,
yeah,
they're
right there. They're right there slugging.
I can't imagine those people must get up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning just to get to the studio and get ready to air at like 5.
Uh-huh. Now for the old folks
no.
here in Central Kentucky, for old folks, they watch 27 for news. Okay, for if you're under the age of 60, you're probably watching Channel 18 for news. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm one of the ones who watches Channel 18. 36 is for people who are watching commercials on 18 and 27 and decide they want more news, so they switch over to 36 until they hit commercial, and then they'll switch back. Good old 36. Anyway, that's the ABC affiliate. I'm trying to remember how this goes. 36.2, for some reason, is My TVQ. It's the My Network TV affiliate. I was not even aware My Network TV is still going. That's an offshoot of the Fox network, by the way. That was what they launched after UPN went down when they merged with the WB, and so for the affiliates who didn't get to become CW affiliates, they could become My Network TV affiliates. For all the good that did, because that's actually where 36 does their better local work, because they have like Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs coming on every night at 6:30 and stuff. But ordinarily it's just the same old crappy reruns over and 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 over. Anyway, I'm trying to remember what 36.3 was. I believe it's Escape. That's a true crime thing. 36.4 is Laugh TV, which is 24/7 sitcoms. That's where you find Night Court. It's on Laugh TV.
Oh. Well,
LAFF. So if you can actually find a feed for it online.
I was going to say, I was like, what kind of shows? Because I mean, there's a difference between comedy and what people think is comedy. Like, I don't think Seinfeld or I Love Raymond or things like that in that category is actually funny.
Believe me, Laugh TV is not paying that much for this content. Okay, so they're not affording friends. They used to show Roseanne every time she opens her mouth and sticks her foot in, the value of her old show plummets, and they're usually the ones who swoop in and get the rights for a while until everybody forgets about it and the rights go back up. Anyway, so that's 36.4. 36.5, I believe, is Quest. That's kind of like old Discovery Channel network channels or shows, but it's mostly stuff like Survivor Man and crap like that. Not the good ones. You won't find Mythbusters on Quest. You won't find Dirty Jobs on Quest. None of the good ones you'll find on Quest. It'll be all the crappy old stinky ones. Yeah. 36.6 is Antenna TV. That's where you find some of the cool old stuff like Soap and My Favorite Martian and the Jack Benny Show and all kind. That's the old Columbia Pictures television station.
Wow.
They show all the old Columbia shit.
That sounds pretty cool.
And 36.7, forgive me TVQ, I cannot remember what 36.7 is off the top of my head. Oh well, moving on. 46.1, no big loss. Oh, take that back. 36.7 is Grit. That's the men's channel. Now, it's for John Wayne fans. There's a lot of westerns. A lot of westerns on Grit. Okay, moving up. 46.1 is KET. That's the PBS affiliate. Your primary PBS affiliate. Okay, so that's where Nature and Nova and all the other stuff. If PBS is airing something that's going to air at a certain time and date, it's going to be on KET. KET2 is their backup. So if you don't like what's on KET, you can check out KET2. It's usually something completely different and a totally different genre. KET3 is KETKY. That's all the Kentucky specific stuff.
We've discussed that once before.
We did, because we actually had an episode a little while back where we talked about KET and PBS, how important KET was to the establishment of educational television in America.
Go check that out. It's actually very interesting.
It's still there. And 46.4 is KET Kids. It's nothing but PBS Kids content.
Which I got to say, was it something Squad?
Odd Squad?
Odd Squad. Mm-hmm. Odd Squad is freaking great. That show is awesome.
I still have a soft place in my heart for Word Girl and
Word Girl, yeah.
And like old school Arthur back before Mr. Ratburn got married. But
and what's the one with the elephants that I wish they would
Baybar?
Yeah, they actually should.
That's all on the KET Kids thing.
That would be a good idea for a movie right there.
No.
Just saying. Yeah.
Only if you could do a live action one.
Oh, by the way, speaking of, they are doing a live action of Clifford the Big Red Dog. Seen a picture, and I got to admit, it's freaking wild because it has this little girl standing on a stoop, and out from the door is this big, gigantic red dog head, and it's like, that actually looks pretty cool.
That's one of those things. That's one of those things where you got to be an artist to get away with it, because if you don't have,
I can't wait to see what happens.
If you ain't got art in your heart, you're not pulling the CGI off on that one. Anyway,
I enjoy Paddington. So.
You're the one. Going back to it, 56.1 is Fox. Enough said. 56.2 is Comet. That's the MGM Sci-Fi channel.
I would put Comet and Me TV in kind of the same category.
Yeah, except Comet's a lot more sci-fi oriented.
Old movie sci-fi.
If you like Mystery Science Theater 3000, it's about to start back up on Comet. Plus, Comet is one of the few networks that actually has a live app available for like Roku's and other streaming devices and stuff, where you can fire it off and you can watch it live online. You do not have to be a subscriber to anything to watch Comet. You can watch it for free anytime you want. If you've got the app, or you've got a browser that can go to comet.tv, I believe, or comettv.com.
You know what? I have an idea for a new episode. Not this time, but down the road. We should talk about some of the coolest things that is on TV right now that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, we need to start one of those
mentioning those.
One of those friends and lovers episodes. Yeah. Hey, don't get me off track, because we're already 20 minutes into this. Alright, 56.3 is Charge. That's the men's channel for people who don't like John Wayne. That's where all the Chopsaki and other stuff is. Yeah.
I think the last time I tuned in on that one, which I can't remember where that was. It was before I got what I got now, but it was like a huge... Oh, 18. I think 18 was on there.
Yeah. It was.
18,
used to be. Used to be. That's moved. I'll tell you about that in a second, because those 4 channels belong to Fox 56. A new one that's cropped up, that's actually been around for a long time. People didn't know about it because it used to be a local religious broadcaster, but they signed an agreement with WTVQ. This is weird. It's I can't even think what it is. WJLC, I think is what it's called. And it's actually a religious broadcaster out of Beattyville. which is like off in the middle of nowhere. Okay, it's on the other side of Campton, if you know where Campton is, in relation to Lexington. It's like off to the southeast by about 35, 40 miles. But anyway, because they signed the deal with TVQ, where they used to have just one religious Christian channel, now they've multiplexed and they're right up there with TVQ. They actually, JLC is your primary, and it's a Cozy TV affiliate. If you want to see the A-Team, it's now on Cozy TV at 65.1. If you want to see old Columbo episodes or old Murder, She Wrote episodes, it's on Cozy TV. If it's an old Universal 80s, 70s or 80s thing like Starsky and Hutch, it's on Cozy TV. Emergency, I think, is on Cozy TV. Adam 12 just moved back to MeTV, I think. But anyway. So anyway, it's actually a really neat thing to check out if you're, especially if you're old crime dramas, because they used to show Kojak every Saturday morning, 3 episodes in a row. Kojak, the old NBC mystery movie stuff, that's Cozy. And The Office, if you're looking for The Office, it's on Cozy TV. Okay, now and then the weird thing is, it's not Cozy TV all the time. Half the daytime schedule is still religious programming. So they still show ministries in and around Beattyville, in that area, still show live on WJLC.
And late night stuff.
But when it's not showing that, it's showing Cozy TV. So like into the night, mid-morning, afternoon leading up to prime time. So, anyway. They'll also show Channel 36's early newscast at 9 o'clock every weeknight, believe it or not, on this one. 65.2 is Light TV. That's more of a Christian-oriented, kind of like a family channel type thing. 65.3, oh boy, now I'm trying to remember what all they had on there. Shoot, 65, there are 6 channels altogether on 65, and I couldn't tell you what half of them are, because they're a little bit hard to find. Although they have boosted their signal, you can actually pick them up a lot easier now than we used to. That leaves us with 67. That's the Ion television thing. As far out as the Cozy TV affiliate is, Ion television, if you can get WUPX 67.1, it's going to say it's in Moorhead, Lexington. Okay, all of them say Lexington because they want to be in the Lexington market, but their transmitters and studios may be somewhere else. Fox 56, for example, it bills itself as Danville, Lexington. Their studio is in Lexington. They want to be in the Lexington market. Their transmitter is in Danville, for example. Ion Television, bless their little hearts, I don't know how they figured out Moorhead. They may have like a broom closet that they rent in Moorhead so they can claim the Moorhead market. But their transmitter is about, as I speak, about 10 miles away from this location in East. This is like 40 miles out of Lexington to the southeast. And nobody in Lexington can get it. Okay, so they do have sub-channels too. 67.2 is now called Ion Plus. It's pretty much the exact same things Ion airs, just at a different schedule.
Ion, I used to like Ion, I really did. But man, all they have is, if it's not Law and Order, it's Blue Bloods. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much it. That's like all they have. Mm-hmm. That's all they paid for.
It's one of those where they have the network, but they don't have the money to actually do anything with it. They actually, every once in a while, they'll get a wild hair up their ass and they'll try to have a new show or something on. It'll last about a season.
Yeah.
And off it goes.
Like they had Leverage on there, and then they
ran that into the ground.
And yeah, and then it just left, and it was like, well, put something good on here.
So anyway, that's a quick nothing.
Yeah, that was
our rundown of the over-the-air markets. just be aware things are changing, and you may, as we head into the spring, odds are we're going to be seeing about 2 or 3 more changes coming up. So if you get your over-the-air channels, just remember, rescan your TV antenna every once in a while, at least every 3 months, in order to pick up the newest stuff and see, make sure you're updated.
Unless you're our few viewers that is from England, this does not reply to you. But thank you for watching us. We enjoy it.
But I do get to watch BBC stuff without a license. Ha ha ha. So I do pay for it anyway, but you don't even know what I'm talking about. You don't know what a TV license is, do you? Ask one of your British fans, they'll tell you. They'll tell you all about it. But anyway, so we're going to wrap this one up. We still got 2 more episodes to do. We're going to be doing episodes where I basically cuss out Marvel for a comic book they published, and one thing I want to talk about at the Consumer Electronics Show. Those being one of 2 more episodes coming up this week here on Geekin' Out. I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
That is Chris. We'll see you next time here on GEO, baby. Yeah. Turn off.
Turn off.
Turn off.
Turn off.
Turn off.
Turn off.
Turn the hell off.
Turn off.